strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to Trentovision, where bad ideas get pulverized and the truth will set you free. Trentovision is hosted by Tom Trento. Tom can be reached at 561-319-5533 or Tom at trentovision.tv. Listen and watch every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1470 WNN and trentovision.tv. Now, let's get a peek at Tom's view of the world. Here's Tom Trento.
Okay, I'm not quite ready.
Uh-oh.
Not quite ready here. I got a few more things to write down. Bear with me here. Okay, 11, carry the 1, add a 2. Okay, I think I got everything going for us today here on Trentovision. Let's start the day out right. Everybody stand. It was a birthday card. It was a birthday card. Okay, we'll keep that right over here. Hello, everybody. Tom Trento. Trentovision.tv. Put what up? You? I can't. I can't touch the master there.
I'll get it.
But I'm here. Trentovision.tv on the 19th, just 6 days till Christmas.
Oh, my
6
gosh.
days to put the names of all the people on Trentovision down to get small gifts. If we get thousands of small gifts, that's as good as one very large gift. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Or just gift certificates to, you know what? I don't want any food gift certificates.
I do.
Yes. You can give them to CJ.
Yeah.
I am doing great. Another pound. Things are getting back to where they used to be in about 3 or 4 more months. But it's good to be with everyone today on this beautiful Florida sunny day, 74 in this studio, but outside, that's what people want to know. They want to know what the weather is outside, not what the weather is in
Wow,
here.
it is sunny and 79 and beautiful
79
downtown
degrees.
Boca Raton, Florida.
Really is. We're getting a cold front coming in.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, it's going down to 77, I think.
Oh, 77. That's
Something
it.
like that.
No, 66 tonight.
Traffic report invisible. 66?
Traffic,
Yeah.
There's traffic.
Oh, look at that. Friday?
Mike, you got
Hi.
a cult following, Mike, with your traffic report.
Yeah, there's still more traffic. I don't know why people follow me anyway.
All the cars are following you.
Yes. Okay.
What's the report, Mike?
There's cars. Like one day I expect to just look out and have something interesting going on.
There's
But
cars
it's
going in
There's
both
cars
directions.
going left and right.
All right.
and,
So for the 5 million people in the listening area, there's cars on the road, and if you're driving, it's probably a good thing because you're one of them, and we know about you out there. But do you know about us? I don't know. We started on Labor Day, this past Labor Day. Speaking of labor, I have tickets for the matinee performance at Kravitz Center of Jersey Boys, right?
Oh.
And got a long time ago, and this will be my 4th time seeing it, going with some friends. And it was Labor Day. I said we started on Labor Day. Guess what? Jersey Boys is shut down.
Really?
Yes. Guess why? Tonight is opening night at Kravitz Center in West Palm Beach.
Why are they on strike?
It ain't opening. Guess who got in the way and shut it down?
The unions.
The unions came into town. They put Kravitz Center. For those of you who do not know, here in South Florida, Kravitz, Kravitz, Kravitz Center, is a big, beautiful theater. I mean, it's a professional theater. 80,000 times nicer than most of the theaters on Broadway, which are little holes in the walls, right?
Right.
I saw Jersey Boys when it opened on Broadway years ago. And the union last year put Kravitz Center as one of their top 10 non-union joints they're going to shut down. And they chose to do it on the opening night of the big Jersey Boy deal. So,
Well, how'd they shut them down?
They had all the workers decided not to cross they had a picket line, and the workers decided not to violate the union's request.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So all the stagehands and all the...
It looks like they want to unionize. If you could check that out. I got one of the people going with me sent me some notes, but if you can find the particulars. This is right in our own backyard here. That's about 20 miles north of where we are right now. The Michigan and Wisconsin and Chicago union thugs are shutting down the theater here
we
in
need to get a hold of Slade and...
Yeah, or we can contact some Kravitz people or whatever.
Right.
But
so first Twinkies and now the Jersey Boys.
Now Jersey Boys. So that's a it is so good, particularly if you're from Jersey.
What exit?
It's so good that tactically the union guy said, "Hey, you talking about Jersey? We'll bring you some Jersey unions down here." So cancel tonight. No Jersey Boys opening night. My tickets are Saturday afternoon, a matinee. So we'll see what happens. Okay, but we started our extravaganza of intellectual and informational and edutainment on the 3rd of September, Monday, Labor Day, 2012. I'm mixing the years up. We started with a 1-hour segment at 2 o'clock, 2 to 3. That was our time, right? 2 to 3. 2 to 3. And
seems like forever ago.
Before you knew it, we were at 3 to 6 where we are right now. That's who we are. Who are we? Introduce yourself.
I'm CJ.
And why do you exist, CJ?
I don't know. It's one of those mysteries of the cosmos.
Of the cosmos. Mark,
Yes.
Why do you exist, Mark?
To make you look good.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's the good answer. Yeah,
Mark-
he gets paid before me, doesn't he?
gets
Just for
paid,
saying
yes.
that.
Yes. And
It's
Mike,
a challenge. It's a tough job.
challenge.
Oh man, did I blow that.
For those of you not knowing what we're talking about, our sister organization, the United West, is a counterterrorism educational organization that fights the jihadi bad guys. How do you fight them? We fight them. We go into their places, and it's an ideological, not a physical battle. We're trying to avoid having a kinetic or physical event in the United States. We like to keep it, brain to brain, because our brains are better than their brains. But one of the modalities we use to awaken people to the horror of Islamic jihad, the threat of Islamic jihad, the death touch of Islamic jihad, one of the modalities is videos, advocacy videos. And I am what you would call in Hollywood the talent.
The
Yeah.
talent. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the talent. All right.
I am the talent. That's a
that means
definite
we're all
article.
supposed to handle you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a definite article.
Green M&Ms and all. So that's
The
for sure.
talent.
Yes, no green M&Ms when
Like
no red M&Ms. Only no, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Only red M&Ms when I'm in the green room. And when the driver comes to pick me up, I
Now,
don't
is that
like
a union driver?
I don't like
that
touching
a
the handle of
Teamster
that door.
driver?
I don't like touching the handle of the door. I just don't like so many hands have been on that door.
Okay,
So-
you know who you're talking
You know what you're talking about there, don't you?
So I
Speaking
enter
of which, we need to say something about
I enter on the opposite door. That's how I enter. That way.
Yeah, that's just because the
My
lock
limo.
doesn't
That's
work
'cause your
on
door doesn't work.
car.
In my limo, I have to go through the passenger door because my door doesn't work on my
And you have
1996 Astro van.
and you have the Emmanuel air conditioning.
Yes, the 255, the
It's
model.
time to
255
roll
AC.
down the windows.
It's 255. Two windows are down. Drive at 55, and then have a gym towel to wipe the sweat off of you as you drive. But you can change all that with a small donation. A
Yes.
small donation to Trento Vision. You can change all of that right now. Now, don't you feel guilty that we're driving in cars with no air conditioning in Florida? Come on, give us a break.
Yeah,
Help
that's
us out
not
here.
right.
No, it's not right.
That's just wrong.
It really isn't. It really isn't right. It's just not right. It's just not right. But you can make it better. Yes, you can make it better. Just go to TrentoVision.tv. There's a little green thing that says donate securely. You can feel very secure about your donation
Yes.
because we don't even have cars with air conditioning, so you know that we're not going to waste your money.
That's right.
If buying a cigar is
It's
wasting
for
it.
a really, really good cause.
Right. Mike, why do you exist?
Bring down the capitalist structure.
To bring down the capitalist structure. Good. We can use you on our operations to...
Okay, well, we know we don't have to pay him.
He's last on the list.
I won't take your filthy money.
Yeah,
I don't
You
know.
stinking.
I got a granola bar for you.
I don't even want your money. Give me some patchouli. Give me some
You
patchouli.
You capitalist pig,
I
you.
hang out with the bougie pigs at work. That's it.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh
And
boy.
smoke the occasional cigarette.
And as I was saying to our listeners just tuning in, whether you're driving your automobile or watching at home, no, it's not as jovial. It's not jovial all the time around here.
Jocularity,
Yeah.
jocularity.
We do deal with very serious subjects, and
Yes.
sometimes we need an outlet,
Serious face now.
and we choose not to drive our cars on sidewalks as an outlet. So we laugh about things at times.
We make
Yeah.
jihad fun.
Yeah, we make GF fun. But it is important, and this is to many of our patriot friends who are still in sort of an existential shock from a guy who a few years ago was unknown to a guy now that operates at a superpower level with impunity. He can do, this president, whatever the hell he wants to do.
He
It
can
is
do
amazing.
it.
You know, I thought Bill Clinton was the Teflon president, but this guy, I tell you what, he is double non-stick, super. No, I tell you what, butter wouldn't melt in his
It
mouth.
is
He just gets away with everything.
It is unbelievable, and I'm
revolting.
hearing so much praise about the way he handled the Newtown shootings and the way he went up there.
Oh, please.
If you-
Speaking of which, I'm going to post the New York Post cover of that.
The New York Post cover of that.
When we get on it.
Oh, I thought you were just going into it.
No.
Okay.
But bring it up. We're going to talk about it later for sure. But there's a lot of praise for the way the president handled his speech and all of that.
Oh, please.
And here's the problem.
We
Because-
saw it. We
Yeah.
saw it. Oh, please.
Because of the emotion of the moment of 20 little babies being slaughtered.
God.
There's a tendency to, I mean, a talking gorilla could have come in, one of these chimpanzees that we trained to talk a little bit and could have done something, and we all would have felt compassion because of the tone of the moment. So to take the tone of the moment and to apply it improperly to the president bespeaks what I think Rush spoke about yesterday, fake crying. Did you see the fake crying?
Yes, we did. We all watched it together, and I said that. I said how fake it was, and there were these other people. I won't say where we were at the time, and they didn't want to believe it. I mean, they didn't like the guy, and they really wanted to say, no, I'm sure that's real. And I'm thinking, oh no, it isn't.
I wanted to say it was real,
Oh,
right? Because that's
man.
the
What a
the
Hollywood
mood.
trick,
It-
like
it's
scratching his eye and going like
Brando,
this.
Brando and Dean did it better. It's called
Yeah.
drawing method. And
Yeah,
that's
method
all I
acting. Yeah, I used to teach it. He was doing this stuff, and then the real revelation to me when he was speaking about scripture, and he was 20 years in the same church. You could be deaf and blind and spend 20 years in the same church and learn basic scripture stuff.
Right.
And when he had to recite basic New Testament biblical phrase, little tiny words, he's looking down, he's stumbling over them, he didn't know what they were. 20 years in a church, and he couldn't get straight some of these little verses. I said, that guy has no concept
Of course
of the
not.
basic elements of Christian scripture, Christian truth, the
Yeah.
stuff you learn in
It's like he's
Sunday
going to
school.
burst into flames if he actually says the word. Like when you watch The Omen, the movie.
Yeah.
Little baby in the back seat, like scratching at his mother. Don't take me into the church. Don't take me into the church.
I'm a pagan, and I know it better than he
Yeah.
does.
But I bet you he could tell you what Marx and Lenin had for breakfast on 1844. The for sure, man.
Actually,
But,
Lenin wasn't. Was Lenin born? In
I don't know.
1940? No. He wasn't born yet.
Marx and Engels. Yeah.
Well, I know he definitely knows the Edward Said doctrine of Palestinian liberation.
He knows that. He knows that.
He knows that
So
all
look,
too well.
So, do we give him a pass at Newtown? No, we do not give him a pass
No.
at Newtown. Not in the slightest. Because when you're a fraud, when you're someone who's trying to change the elements of the United States Constitution, the elements of free market, of entrepreneurial excitement and activity, when you are an anti-colonialist, but you're building colonialism, when you're in foreign countries, when you're opposed to guns and you're going to ban guns and ban rounds, but you're running guns in Mexico, fast and furious, and you're running guns in Libya, through Turkey to Syria. You're providing the enemies with guns, and you don't want Americans to have guns. You're a fraud, Mr. President, and we're here to remind you of that. There we go. We have up on the screen, for those who are viewing our simulcast video, we have up on the screen the president fake wiping an invisible tear from his eye.
Yeah.
So, but can't you give the guy a break? No, you give him a break.
You voted for him.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're gonna annoy him until the cows come
Yeah.
home. But he's gonna come after you guys. We know that. We know that, and we know exactly how. It's going to be through the First Amendment, a thing we spoke about yesterday, and the Second Amendment. Those two are under attack, and we read the Third Amendment. Let me read the Fourth Amendment. For those of you yesterday that were with us, we addressed the Newtown, Connecticut shooting. Mike, you can go to it too when you get a chance, or Mark or somebody. We addressed the Newtown, Connecticut shooting, Sandy Hook Elementary School, yesterday, but we put it in a historic context so that people understand that the amendments were not just like fortune cookies where they went around the room and said, pick this one, have a happy day, and don't let the door hit you on the way out. The first 10 amendments came out of a unique set of historic circumstances. The Revolutionary War, and I'll just do a quick review, and on the screen you're looking at some of the very emotional photographs.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some of the emotional photographs at Newtown.
The picture that's up now is it's a poster that says "Pray for Newtown," and it's right in front of a bare tree because it's fall, the leaves are gone, and there's all these little stuffed animals in front of it. My father used to call them the friends.
Hey, Tom, wipe your eye.
Yeah, well, no, this to me is very,
look at
very
that.
emotional.
Oh my gosh!
My tears are real. But yeah, and
we went through a lot of Kleenex here on Friday.
The optics of that, the visual optics of this picture for the folks in the automobile, as CJ described, there's a typical tree in the northeast, no leaves, and it's very symmetric. The tree, it's got a trunk of about maybe 12 inches in diameter, and then the branches go off and fill the screen. It's actually a very nice shot. The camera's at ground level shooting up, and in the foreground are all the stuffed animals, and then on top of the animals is the sign. What does the sign say? You don't have it there.
The sign says "Pray for Newtown."
Pray for Newtown.
I thought it was Newton. Is it not Newton?
Oh, they've been saying Newtown.
Oh, President Obama called it Newton, so I figured that was the correct pronunciation.
Did he call it Newtown?
Yeah,
Newton?
he called it Newton.
As far as
like Fig Newton.
Like Fig Newton.
Yeah.
Or
like Newton.
That's what you get when your teleprompter's left on the airplane.
Yeah, doesn't it give you the pronunciation?
Yeah, he needs a pocket prompter, a little pocket prompter. Oh, I got my little pocket prompter here. But the beauty of this photograph for the people who are listening, is that the tree is bare. I mean, there was the life of the leaves are gone, and they've fallen to the ground. And little stuffed animals are there, and the children have fallen to the ground.
Oh man!
And not by an act of nature, that's for sure.
No, is there a photo credit for that, Mike?
I actually just pulled that off of Google. I thought it was a great photo.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. So who we are, we're the Trento Vision team, TrentoVision.tv. We're broadcasting on WNN 1470 Boca Raton, Florida. Our 50,000 horsepower signal goes from North Miami, which is about 35 miles from Boca Raton, to the south. And then it really goes a long way. It goes up to Fort Pierce, which is about 100, 150 miles from North Miami. Then goes inland a little bit and up to Kissimmee, which is the edge of Orlando. So the population that the signal covers is about 5 million citizens in the state of Florida. And a significant number there are about 500,000 Jewish people, because South Florida, I think, is number 3. I think it's New York, L.A., and then see if you can find the 3 or 4 largest population areas. I think Florida's 3 or 4, with South Florida. There's 800,000 Jewish people in Florida, 500,000 of whom are down here in South Florida. I think 499,000 are in Boca Raton, with a population of 90,000. Oh, I'm exaggerating a little bit. But, so the reason why this is significant for us, our work is in the area of national security. That's what we got our bona fides. That's where we write, we speak, we fight, we do all kinds of stuff. And one of the key components of the United States national security is the reliance upon Israel. Sadly, most Jewish people in America have taken a position that Zionism, that is the integration of Israel as the land for Jewish people, with the capital being Jerusalem, most Jewish people in America have see that as a secondary consideration in their lives, if not no consideration at all. But there are a handful. There's a remnant, and there's always been a remnant in the nation of Hebrews. Always been a remnant that have been true to the faith and to the principles and to the cause. And we, the United West, with a Unitarian, with a Jewish individual, with a Christian, we're uniting on the principles, constitutional principles, and the humane principles of defending a nation that's risking its neck for the West. People don't understand that. That's why it's important to be broadcasting to 500,000 Jewish people.
And also, we have a few Democrats who have jumped in with us and who see it,
yes,
and seen the need for this, because, in essence, what we are talking about is actually a liberal Democrat issue.
Should be, yes, it is.
Should be a liberal Democrat.
It is, and people should see it as that. They don't,
right?
Of course, but maybe Peter Feynman sees it that way. I think he does.
Okay, well, tell us about Peter, because I'm looking up some stuff for you.
Peter Feynman is
6'2",
eyes of blue, freckle face, buck teeth.
Coochie coo.
Peter Feynman is a mouthpiece. For all of my Italian friends, he's a consigliere. Okay, he will stand alongside of you and help you in your legal battles. Whether those battles are with the well, they're going to be with the IRS for sure. Once Obamacare comes in, we have 16,000 more IRS agents. That's what America needs, more IRS agents. 16,000 more per the 2,000 pages of the Obamacare. Well, you're going to run into a problem with the IRS, because companies are going to say, I don't even understand what this stuff is. And you're not going to file the right paper, and the IRS agents are going to be on your back. Call Peter Feynman. Feynman Law, F-E-A-M-A-N Law. In fact, to get ready for the destructive locomotive of Obama Nation coming down the pike, sign up with Peter now. Call him up, say, Peter.
Get him on retainer.
Those guys at Trento Vision are talking about you. We just want to hear your voice, because we think we're going to need it in 2013. So Peter Feynman, not only is he a 30-year Palm Beach attorney. When I say Palm Beach, he lives and practices primarily in Palm Beach, but he's licensed in the state of Florida. And so he can practice anywhere in the state of Florida. He's actually gotten pretty good by practicing. He's developed some expertise, in fact. So as we know, we've worked with him closely. He has represented us He's represented me personally. He's represented us as an organization, and
Oh, look at this. Okay.
and he's written books on Islamic Jihad. He's an elected official with the Republican Party. But if you're a Democrat, you need a good lawyer. Peter is so ethical. He's a conservative Catholic Christian. He is so ethical that rest assured he will fight for you just as much as he fights for us, regardless of your political affiliation. He may argue with you over that and try to persuade you differently, but he will represent you well. And his dad, he comes from a unique family. His dad was a bomber in World War II, a fighter pilot flying a bomber, B-17, I believe. And his son is a Gyrene, graduate of the United States Annapolis, the Naval Academy. That was a dream of mine when I was a little kid, to go to the Naval Academy because Roger Staubach, who was the quarterback for Navy, went there. And I was a big fan of Roger Staubach, who's still kicking around. Well, Peter's so funny. He was a quarterback. Peter's son is a Marine
We're
serving.
number 2, by the way.
Number 2. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. So anyway, Peter Feynman Law. And while you're doing that, make sure you go to a local source for great political and geopolitical and national security information, BizPac Review. BizPacReview .net, I believe. We better check that up. Check BizPac Review, Mike. BizPac Review, a local...
I think it's .com.
Is it
It's
.com?
.com,
Okay.
yeah.
So now, all right, tell us about the Jewish population in the United States of America.
Okay.
.com, BizPac Review.
Number 1, New York City.
New York! Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a surprise.
Approximately 2 million.
In New York.
Yeah,
Okay.
in New York. Yeah. Approximately 500,000 in the Miami area, which is going to pretty much be South Florida.
Which
Yep.
our radio broadcast covers, right?
Yeah. And then we have Los Angeles is next.
This is just population areas.
Yeah.
Because that's not a state. The state figure for Florida is about 800,000.
State figure for Florida is we're third percentage-wise, highest proportion of Jewish people per capita.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so New York and New Jersey are first, and then Florida. And then, this is really funny, or District of Columbia.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Has the 4th highest proportion of Jewish people per population in
that's-
the
Or
United
are you talking
States.
about ratio of?
Yeah, that's because it's not a large population.
That's because there's a lot of lawyers in D.C.
Oh, is it Jewish joke time?
Oh, we didn't know we could. What? Are we
don't
allowed
have
to give Jewish jokes now?
We don't have enough time and not enough hours in the show. How do you tell?
No. Okay, let's switch to blonde jokes.
Okay, blonde joke. All right. Well, so there's a lot of Jewish people in South Florida.
Yeah.
We knew that. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right, we established that. So we're still setting up who we are for the new people listening. Tomorrow, I'll give you a little peek at tomorrow. Tomorrow we have on one of the world's world, not just United States, but one of the world's experts on Mideast affairs, on Russian affairs, on South American affairs, as it relates to national security. I just lost the picture here.
Yeah, me too.
The person, our guest tomorrow, will be Skyped in, probably for 1 hour, maybe 2, possibly 3. You do not want to miss tomorrow's show. In light of the report that was released yesterday by who did the report? Was it the State Department? No, it was an investigative body that did a report on Benghazi.
Yeah.
And it's a total mess, the report. The report basically
the
said...
report isn't a mess.
The report's a mess.
Yeah, the report... No, what it reports is a mess.
No, the report is a mess.
The State Department is a mess.
Well, some of my Team B guys were going through the report. I haven't had a chance to read the 39 pages. They said the report is a mess because it does this wonderful little bit of magic. This is a report on the Benghazi incident, and the authors of the report place the causation of the problem on the State Department. And one of the Team B guys says, "Oh, what a very convenient way."
Yeah.
The State Department is a non-entity.
Yeah.
It's a non-person. It's a building. It's a concept. Whenever you don't want an individual to receive particular culpability or responsibility in Washington diplomatic speak, it becomes it was the fault of it was a State Department problem, which means nobody personally is responsible, and it's sleight of hand to protect the president, to protect Hillary, to protect others. But we will have an expert on tomorrow, Claire Lopez. She spent 20 years with the Central Intelligence Agency as an analyst, as an operations officer. She served all over the world. She speaks five languages.
Including Farsi and Russian.
Including Farsi and Russian.
Another underachiever
not Italian and
here on
French.
Trento Vision.
Little romantic languages. She's like full hog
She goes
into
for the
it.
meat and potatoes.
Yeah. I got to talk like that with some of these
No,
things.
I heard her. It was really funny. We're doing one of our
Briefings?
Infiltration things.
Oh, right.
With Claire, and one of these knucklehead imams comes up to her and says, "Well, no, that's not what it means. It means this." She goes, "Well, no, actually, the Farsi means blah, 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 blah," and just starts talking to him in Farsi, and you should have seen the guy's mouth just hit the floor. He's like, "Okay, you know this. You can't fool. I can't fool you." So.
Yeah, no, Claire is amazing.
Yeah, I just went black again also.
Okay. Claire is amazing. She will be on tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess the State Department report, it's kind of like this Benghazi report. It's kind of like saying, gee, it was just the weather. It was an act of God.
Yeah, that's,
same thing.
again, act of God. It's a perfect analogy to no human personal responsibility. Notwithstanding the fact that the act of God that knocked over the building was made out of toothpicks made by idiots.
Yeah,
it was an act of God that the building made out of toothpicks made by idiots.
As opposed to the shooting in Newtown, Connecticut, which was definitely the fault of guns.
Yeah, gun fault. Yeah, and you remove personal responsibility. Yeah. Seems to be a pattern with this administration removing personal responsibility. But isn't that the hallmark of the left?
Well, actually, more specifically stated, it is the hallmark of Islam. Islam, that you do not take responsibility for your actions. In fact, have you ever heard someone from the Islamic community ever say, "Well, we're sorry that the jihadis did this, and we denounce that." And no, it's always you have to blame somebody else for something else. I mean, it is a hallmark of Islamists, and it's also the hallmark of Obama, who started out as Islamic, and his upbringing and his youth and everything was based on this not taking responsibility action.
Oh, man. TrentoVision.tv, WNN 1470 at 35 minutes past 3 o'clock on the East Coast. Tom Trento, CJ, Mark, Mike, we are here to discuss contemporary current events, national security issues, President Obama. Did you notice that? And if you want to jump in on the conversation, 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470. Today we're asking the question, one of the issues we wanted to lay out today was the issue of John Hammer, Marine John Hammer, the young guy who is currently incarcerated in prison in a slum garbage piece of crap prison just over the Texas border. I mean, he's not far from the United States, and
might as well be on another planet.
Well, he must have been moving drugs or something like that. Or what was his crime, Tom?
Well, I read.
Because I know he had to do something heinous. He really had to be doing something heinous.
We sent out an email today. And our email, we sent it to about 20,000 people. It says, America demands action from Obama and Clinton. And it's got a picture of Hillary and the president clapping and laughing. This Marine needs you now. And Mark, the Marine you're talking about is pictured. Mike, if you can put this up, you got this picture of him. Look. Go to either the email or if you go to the email, you can go also to his Facebook page. We're sending people there. Picture is of John Hammer in his early 20s. He went in at 18 years old, several tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was combat vet, decorated combat vet, and on one mission, his close buddy got shot right next to him, which was very traumatic for John, as it would be, with your close buddy gets shot. So he experiences PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And what happened, in our email, it says, America demands action from Clinton and Obama. This Marine needs you now. Make the damn call and get him home. Then we go on to say, and we'd like to know what you think, 888-565-1470. We ask the question, how in the world can America's king and queen, Obama and Hillary, continue to ignore the illegal imprisonment of an American combat veteran who took an oath to defend the same country that Hillary and Obama rule? And face the facts. For those of you who voted for these people, our president, they are rulers. They function as despots in many, many ways. They view the voting public as peasants. Well, this guy, John Hammer, this young kid, took an oath to defend the country that Hillary and Obama rule. Next question. Is this administration's hatred for guns? There's the answer to your question, Mark, not drugs. He was running guns. Is this administration's hatred for guns so obscene that they want to make an example of Marine hero John Hammer by letting him rot in a rat hole prison in a country run by drug lords and other scum? Who wrote this stuff? And number 3, how can President Obama and his family enjoy their tax-funded $4 million vacation in Hawaii when one of his troops is chained to a metal bed in complete isolation? Every American should be furious. Go to John Hammer, John John Hammer's Facebook page. Go there.
So he was running like massive amounts of guns across the border for Holder, or
He was
what
a
was
gun
he?
runner.
Yeah,
He was a gun runner.
Yeah.
So look,
Well, how many guns did he run?
Okay,
I
I'll
mean,
tell you.
Was it like
You got a
1,000?
question?
no,
I'll tell you.
You know
What?
what? This is an administration that won't even let our own soldiers and Marines serving overseas and guarding our embassies carry weapons, or if they do have weapons, they're not allowed to be loaded. So it's really, I mean, gosh, if the people are defending us aren't allowed to carry weapons, then
Yeah,
who
well,
is?
well, what
I mean,
John,
nobody- you know.
what Marine John Hammer, who's very familiar with weapons, what he did in his gun running
Operation?
desperado operation.
So he had a whole network of gun runners behind him.
He came back. He came back with PTSD, and his family put him into various programs. He came to a program here in Miami. They're from the state of Florida. This is why it's
Well, that's a great place to get guns from. Go ahead.
Well, this is specifically important to those of us here to bring this story out, and
Yeah.
Fox is doing a great job. He went down to the VA in Miami. He was treated there, but it didn't work out. He had a reaction to the drugs. But they found in California a PT, post-traumatic stress disorder clinic that's treating veterans very successfully.
Right.
And you never are healed 100% from PTSD, but you are equipped to deal with it and have a normal life.
Right.
So he went into this extended program, did absolute wonders in his life, got out, and one of the suggestions was take some time now and go enjoy your life. Okay, just forget about everything. What do you like to do best? And he loves surfing, so he went and got one of his Marine buddies who's out.
Right.
And said, let's go surfing. Let's go to Costa Rica, like the best surfing there is.
Right.
And we'll buy an old van
We'll
and
drive
we'll
down
throw
there.
surfboards in. And he did his gun running with the van. He put in the van because they were going to do a little hunting in Costa Rica. He put in the van his bazookas and his man pads, and He put in the van. Listen to this. He took his surfboards and his suitcases and all that, and he took his grandfather's antique 410 shotgun.
410? That's not even a shotgun. Come on, 410 is like the BB gun of shotguns.
It's a 410 shotgun.
410. The shells are like the size of a Sharpie.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tiny.
And if you hunt, any hunters, you get a BB gun. In Texas, we had a woman call from Texas yesterday.
The first shotgun
you get a BB gun for your 10th birthday, right?
No. You get a BB gun for your second birthday.
Your second birthday.
You get the 410 shotgun for your third birthday in Texas.
No.
Maybe it's a little older up here.
I tell you, I'll give you a real story. All right, when my dad was teaching me how to shoot and everything, and we were on.
Your father, by the way,
is a colonel in the Army, and
30 years,
all that good stuff.
And you're a veteran,
and I'm a veteran, so. We go out hunting and everything, and I'm young. I'm like 13 or 14 years old. He goes, "All right, son, I'm going to teach you how to shoot a gun." And so he hands me this little BB. I said, "This is not a gun." He goes, "Yes, it is. It's a shotgun. It's loaded. It will kill people." And I go, "Okay." So he took me out to the trap range, and you ever tried to hit a trap with a BB gun?
Was it a 410?
It was a 410.
Okay, yeah.
It was a 410, and the shells are just.
It's a shotgun with training wheels.
It's a training wheel shotgun.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
So he took his grandfather's antique shotgun, 410 shotgun. They were going to shoot quail, little things in Costa Rica.
It's tough to hit a quail with a 410. I'm telling you, you got to be damn good to hit a quail with a 410.
All right, so that's not the whole story. When he gets to the U.S. border, he shows them the gun. Mm-hmm. He says, because where you going? I'm going to Costa Rica. Do you have any vegetation? Yeah, we have a gun.
We have weapons to declare.
I'm bringing this. The U.S. Customs said, yeah, that's fine. What you have to do is that's an allowable gun to go to Mexico. You have to now go on the Mexican side, see what they say.
Right.
So he goes on the Mexican side, and they said, yeah, everything's okay. You got to fill out this paperwork and all that. Mm-hmm. Then
in English or Spanish.
Yeah. Then he had to go through another checkpoint a little further down, and they say, what are you doing with this gun? You're under arrest, right, for having an illegal gun in Mexico. He goes, what are you talking about? They just sent me here with this gun. They measured it and everything. And the second checkpoint measured it differently, and the barrel was like 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 of an inch too long. So now it was a long gun that was illegal in Mexico, right? Now, Mexico is the last country on the face of the earth that should be talking about the legality of guns.
They also function off Napoleonic Code and not jurisprudence that we have. So
they have a crazy, particularly with guns, they have a crazy legal system. But this all happened. You know what month this happened in? It's December now. All of this happened in August.
Yeah, he's been there for a while.
He's been rotting since August.
Yeah.
So they locked him up. Then they then he had a Marine tattoo. John Hammer did. He has one, and this is a CDs.
Well, no Marines have Marine tattoos on them.
Yeah. CDs, CEDES, CDs. It's CD place. CDs prison. It's a drug lord prison in this scum of a CEDES prison in Matamoros, Mexico. I don't like Mexico, me personally, Tom Trento.
Have you been there?
I have.
I mean, can you say?
Have I been to Mexico?
No, never been there.
I've been to Cancun and I've been to Juarez.
Yeah,
I have been to Tijuana. I have been to Tijuana, Mexico.
Tijuana.
I've been to Juarez twice.
He's been to Juarez.
And I only went there during the daytime.
Why did you go to Juarez? That's
because I was in El Paso.
Yeah.
I was in El Paso on a contract for a networking job.
Oh man, that's a bad place. No, I had a very close cousin assassinated, believe it or not, in Mexico, and
assassinated.
Yes, and the Mexican authorities would not return the body. How about that? We had to get a what was his name? A boxer, a friend of our family. a professional boxer involved in a whole bunch of different things. But no, they wanted. They were trying to extort us.
I see.
So it was so bad that they kept my cousin's body in a unrefrigerated area
Oh no.
for 2 weeks. We finally, through some political machinations, got him back, closed casket, obviously. It's a low life of a country. It's just horrible. My cousin had moved there, and he was set up by, he was a former police officer from Newark, New Jersey, believe it or not. And he was a tough guy. His brother is a
So
SEAL.
he was set
Navy
up by
SEAL.
some bad guys.
He was set up by bad guys, yeah.
boy, because they knew he was a former policeman.
They knew a lot, and they made believe he was selling a piece of property. They made believe, and when he walked out to meet them, boom, boom, 5 of them, But in any event, the experience we had with the Mexican government was horrendous, and his brother is a SEAL, a Navy SEAL. So anyway, I don't like Mexico. Never did, even my time in Tijuana. But neither does John Hammer. I don't think he likes it. Hammar.
Well, he was just driving through there. He wasn't even going to Mexico. He's going down to go surfing.
Well, once they saw the Marine tattoo, then he started getting pushed around by all the drug criminals. So they finally had to get him isolated. He's isolated now, chained to a bed. Then there have been extortion phone calls from the prison to the family.
Right.
And the family had been for months, only until about 2 weeks ago. The family was, this was not public information.
Right.
And they've gotten nowhere. Finally, because, you get high profile with this, then you get a lot of people that want a lot of money. And now Fox News is doing a phenomenal job. And all Hillary and Obama have to do is pick up the phone.
Yeah.
And say, Mexico,
a
send the
minute.
kid
He'll be
home.
back.
You'll be out in
he's
30
one
seconds.
Of ours.
In 2005, the prison, where is it? I was just reading it.
While you're getting that, literally, if President Obama picks up the phone, he's close with President Morsi and Hillary's, with all the Muslim Brotherhood and all of that. He's got a Marine that risked his life, has a permanent injury now, mental injury, and he runs all over the place. He goes to Harvard. He defends the Harvard professor who got smacked around verbally by some police officers, has a beer party on the lawn of the White House. All he has to do is pick up the phone. Now, if he's already picked it up, no apologies to the president, because he's an impotent president. And that's what's happening. There's no respect for this guy
Yeah, but he's
anymore.
also a president who hates the Marines, and he
Yes,
hates the
that's
armed
true.
forces, and he's doing everything he can to basically to decapitate them.
That's a good point.
He's trying to decapitate the military.
In 2005, the prison is in 2005, they found 2 American brothers stabbed in a cell.
In Mexican, oh yeah, it's horrendous.
The one he was in, and then also, where is it?
CEDES.
In 2010, there were prison guards charged with helping 151 gang members escape.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Right.
horror stories with Mexico. That's why this kid has to get out of there.
Yeah.
Every day. If I were the president of the United States now, you've got to be able to live with the stress of war and all of that as president. I mean, that's difficult. But something like this, where you see this kid's picture chained to a bed, and if you pick up this iPhone, you go, give me the Mexican president, get the guy out. You got a couple of hours, or I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. You got to get the guy out.
Yeah.
And the president's going to call the prison up and say, get 50 armed people around him, get him the hell out of here. What are we doing? Fix this thing. So no calls, no State Department calls. Jake Carney was asked about this yesterday. Did you see the question?
I'd never heard of it. About what?
I don't know anything about
What?
this.
Who?
Yeah.
That is immoral.
Okay, well, let's ask you
Immoral.
an easier one. How about
Immoral.
Benghazi? Yeah, maybe you want to
No,
talk about
that
No,
that
he
was
doesn't know anything about that
that
either.
was that's almost criminally ignorant.
All right.
I mean,
Anyway,
almost.
here's what we need to do.
Almost.
It is.
Let's wrap up. Let's wrap up John Hammer this hour. And actually, we'll keep it going throughout the day. 888-565-1470. But we have a special guest coming in after the break. We're going to take a break in a few minutes. Ronnie Wexler. You're going to like Ronnie Wexler. He's a friend of mine for many years. Ronnie has dual citizenship, half the time in Boca Raton, half the time in Jerusalem or Tel Aviv, Israel. And Ronnie is an interesting guy. He's a he's a rabbi. He has rabbinic education, but he also studied in a Christian theology school. So he has a Christian theological understanding. And for 20 years or so, we'll find out exactly, he has been running tours, briefings, fact-finding missions back and forth from the United States to Israel. And he integrates these tours. And we are going on one. The United West folks are going in, it was going to be April, but it just got changed to October of next year.
Which is really convenient.
And it's going to be great weather and all that. And
Yeah.
we're going to invite the public to come with us.
Oh, we are?
On this, yeah.
Oh,
We usually
cool.
go on little briefings,
Yeah.
10 people. This is going to be about 100 people, so we have about 100 position seats out there. We'll find out all about that when we come back in a little bit from Ronnie Wexler. But Mark, you got a quick
Do we going to play the bump for it?
No. You got to just give us one. We got about a minute.
Okay, we have our Sharia law update of the day, or daily educational training of what Sharia law from the Reliance of the Traveler, certified and stamped by the Islamic Institute, the International Institute of Islamic
forget about
Thought,
that.
all the good people. Okay,
The Good Housekeeping
Good
Seal of
people,
Jihad.
U.S. seal of approval, and we're going to learn about zakat today.
Oh, zakat.
Zakat is, in essence, a mandatory tithing to Islam. It's a sliding scale depending on what your income is.
Okay.
And
I make money. Now I got to take some of it out.
And every Muslim, male or adult or child, is required to pay zakat.
Zakat, okay.
And it is obligatory to distribute one zakat among 8 categories of recipients, meaning that the zakat goes to none besides them, 1/8 of each zakat to each category.
So if I give $1, 1/8 of it goes here in 8 different categories.
8 different categories.
Okay.
Now there's 7 pretty nondescript categories, but there is one that's kind of disturbing in a way, because
One of the categories for zakat that I got to give money to is what?
the 7th category is for those fighting Allah, meaning people engaged in Islamic military operations.
Jihad.
So one's jihad. So 1/7 must go to jihad. Now, in America, all the mosques you see here in America, every
They
mosque,
have a zakat box?
because what happens is they must give that money to the approved Sharia authority who distributes the zakat, which is typically overseas, and they distribute it to jihad.
So every mosque in America is raising money for
jihad.
the jihad.
No, let me repeat that. Every 100% of the mosque in America are raising money for jihad.
Stay
And
tuned.
these are allowed to stay open. Why? We'll have to
Stay tuned,
for
and we'll
that.
let you know right after the break.